It is already in centered. Okay, so wrap it. It is an elevator. Not here. Let's wrap this whole elevated button in a column. And before the elevated button, we will show, let's say, username. Okay, so that would be Firebase auth, and we want to show it in a string. Let's use our $sign and then Firebase auth. Firebase, come on, Firebase auth. Okay, Firebase auth dot instance dot, we'll say current user dot display name. So this will give me the current user's display name. The problem is current user is actually optional. You can see there is a question mark, so we have to put an exclamatory sign over here and then it should work. We will put a comma and our UI is not responding, but you can see at the back we have our Harshio.edu written, which is the username. Okay, and it has come on top. Let's just close. Let's click on wait. I don't know, this is some simulator issue. And I'll say in the column, I'll say main axis, and let's pull it down. So main axis dot center, and this should pull this down. Okay, and let's write our email ID as well. So this should be email, and this will give me the email address. Very nice. Now I want the image as well, right? So let's get it. So we'll say image dot asset, not asset, we will be getting it from a URL. So network image, and we have to pass our URL. So that would be again Firebase auth dot instance dot current user and exclamatory mark, and I'll say photo URL. So this exclamatory mark basically unwraps, it's like it is like force unwrapping our optional, which is not correct. You should not do like this when you are doing it in a production app. You should never do this. You should always check if this is null or not. If it is not null, then you can use this exclamatory marks, because it is just a simple project, so I'm just using it, but you should not do it in the production app. So let's save it, and I should see, okay, now I can see my user image as well. Let's give some sizing, let's give some spacing as well so that it looks nice. I'll give a height of 20. Okay, now it should look a little bit fine. Okay, now we have our app running properly in our Android application. Now let's do the same thing for our iOS application also as well. So as you can see in our console, this is we have only added Android application. Let's add iOS applications. Click on iOS, and we need our bundle ID. So to get the bundle ID, what you have to do is you have to go to your project directory. So I have kept my project over here, sign in Google, right? And over here you can see iOS folder. So just go in that folder, and you have this runner.exe workspace. Click on this workspace, double click on it, and if you are on MacBook, then only it will work. It won't work in in the Windows. So if you are in Windows, you can run your application in Android phone, in Android emulator only. So you can skip this part actually. So if you are on MacBook, you can run your application in the Xcode and see the bundle ID. We can actually see it in our Visual Studio Code as well, but that's a bit complicated. You have to go in project directory and so many inner levels. So better to open our Xcode itself, which we already have. So let's click on this project, and if you see in general, in the targets, you have this selected, and in the general, we have this bundle identifier. So just copy this and paste it over here. Everything else is optional, so we can leave it. Register the app, and you will have a config file, just like what we did in Android application setup, right? Over there, we had a Google Services JSON file. Over here, we have a plist file. So we will download our plist file, and where we have to keep it, as it shows in the project, we have to keep it near info.plist in our application. So if you see, our info.plist is over here. So let's drag it and keep it over here. We want to copy item if needed, everything selected, and click on finish, and we have our in Google services.info. We don't want this 5, so remove it, and there we have it. Okay, another thing, as we did in so if you click on next over here, this will show the setting for the core native iOS application, which we don't want. We want it with our Flutter, so just click on next, next, and continue to console. So that is all we had to do in the console. But come over here again in the Xcode, and there are one more thing we want to do. So as we did in our Android application, the minimum Android OS supported was 16, and we increased it to 22. Similarly, we have to do it in our iOS application as well. So if you see, our minimum OS supported is 9.0. So we have to increase it. Let's select iOS 12. Same thing we have to do with this project runner. So this was the target runner. In the deployment info, we changed it. Now go to project runner, and in the iOS deployment target, select 12.0. Okay, and now over here as well, app framework info, minimum OS version, and we will change it to 12. That's it. These are all the changes you need to get your application running in your iPhone device or simulator. So just close it. We don't need the Xcode anymore, and go back to our Visual Studio. Now from here, since our iPhone is selected, we will go and change it and select our okay, our Pixel was selected, so we'll go and change it and select our iPhone. So iPhone 11 Pro we will select, and we will run our application. For Android, I had told you, let's just close this application for Pixel, and then okay, iPhone is selected, and now run it. Okay, so our app is running now in iPhone simulator as well. So when I click on this, it will ask you to sign in if you want or not. Just click on continue, and then select the account through which you want to sign in, and you have your information available in the home screen. So this is it. This is how you use Firebase Google authentication, Firebase service to sign in with Gmail account. And yes, this is it with this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe, and do let me know in the comment section if you have any suggestion for my next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.